Stop playing. No, hold on. Let go of me. Let go of me.
What Kirk actually intended to do was take Mendeecees down for good. This isn't just another petty reality TV feud. No, this is the shocking case of attempted murder. The streets are buzzing right now with explosive leaks from sources claiming that Kirk Frost plotted to take Mendeecees out. Mendeecees barely survived what was supposed to be a routine drive, and now that the truth is surfacing, the real questions are, why would Kirk go to such extremes? What did Mendeecees do to push Kirk over the edge? And most importantly, who leaked this terrifying information? Was it an insider? Was it someone from their circle, a friend turned enemy, or perhaps even someone trying to expose the scandal before it spirals out of control? One thing is crystal clear, this is a full-blown conspiracy. We have all the juicy details, from backstabbing betrayals to a deadly sit-up that almost succeeded. Mendeecees was driving down that deserted road, completely unaware that danger was lurking in the shadows. To him, it was just another ordinary drive, another escape from the chaos. But little did he know, someone had an entirely different plan for how that night was supposed to end. And that someone was none other than Kirk. Yes, you heard that right. Kirk Frost, who has been trash-talking Mendeecees left and right, was secretly orchestrating something sinister. This situation has escalated to an entirely new level, leaving everyone wondering, was this a premeditated setup? Those close to the situation are leaking all kinds of information, and let's just say, things are getting messier by the second. Rumors suggest that Kirk had been plotting something shady for weeks. There were heated arguments, vicious threats, and a whole lot of Kirk's "I'm gonna handle this my way" attitude before the suspicious road incident occurred. But here's the million-dollar question. Was this an elaborate scheme that just didn't go as planned? Or was it a chilling coincidence? Let's talk about the eerie timing, because just days before this so-called accident, Kirk and Mendeecees had yet another intense argument. And this wasn't just some minor dispute. It was one of those "if I see you in the streets, it's on" type of fights. The tension between them had been brewing for a while, especially over a previous drama involving Yandy Smith. But things took a dark turn when Kirk allegedly started making serious threats. According to insiders, Kirk was saying things like Mendeecees has to be dealt with, and that he wasn't going to let this go. Now people are beginning to wonder, did Kirk really mean everything he said? And let's not forget, Kirk has a history of holding grudges. This isn't the first time he has had issues with Mendeecees, and according to rumors, he was caught moving in a shady way just last year. As more details emerge, it seems like this situation goes far beyond mere words. Several sources claim that Kirk had some associates lined up and was involved in a secret plot to sabotage Mendeecees, whether it was ruining his reputation or interfering with his money. Kirk was tracking every move Mendeecees made, and if these reports are to be believed, the whole thing was meticulously planned. Some people even claim that Kirk knew exactly where Mendeecees would be driving that night, and that the so-called accident was actually a failed attempt at something much darker. The details are insane, and it's impossible to ignore how calculated this whole situation seems. Think about it. Mendeecees was driving down a quiet road, minding his business, and suddenly, something went terribly wrong. The pieces just don't add up, do they? Now let's discuss what happened after the incident, because that's where things get even shadier. Kirk has gone completely silent. No public appearances, no statements, just radio silence. That's suspicious, considering the fact that Kirk never stays quiet when drama unfolds. So why now? Is he avoiding questions, or is he hoping the whole thing will blow over before people start connecting the dots? After all, if someone falsely accused you of something this extreme, wouldn't you be shouting your innocence from the rooftops? And here's the kicker, Mendeecees isn't talking much either. But sources close to him say he's absolutely convinced this wasn't a random accident. Reportedly, he told his inner circle, "I know what's going on. This was a setup." And if that's what he believes, you best believe he's going to get to the bottom of it. Because let's be real, if someone actually tried to take him out, he's not going to let it slide. And let's not forget, there were witnesses that night. Yes, people saw what happened, and according to them, this wasn't just a case of bad luck. The question now is, will the truth finally come out? Another car was involved, and it had been following Mendeecees Harris for a while before things went south. The driver of that car, however, disappeared from the scene before the police arrived. Why would someone vanish like that unless they had something to hide? Now, let's see where things take an even more bizarre turn. Some sources claim that Kirk Frost wasn't just behind the setup. Rather, he may have been on the road himself, ensuring that everything went as planned. One eyewitness who was reportedly close to the scene claims they saw a car that looked eerily familiar parked on the side of the road. Let's break this down. If Kirk was actually present that night to witness the entire event, this wasn't just some tough talk and a reckless gamble. This was premeditated. Someone wanted Mendeecees off that road. And guess what? That car bore a striking resemblance to Kirk's vehicle. This is the same man who has been exposed for shady business dealings, who has had drama tailing him for years, and who always has an excuse when things go south. They wanted it to look like an accident, and let's not pretend Kirk hasn't been moving strangely for a while. However, this just escalated to an entirely new level. While Kirk is dodging questions, Mendeecees is preparing for whatever comes next. He's reportedly been reaching out to powerful figures in the industry, trying to piece together what really happened that night. And trust me when I say, he will find out if Kirk was actually involved. Yes, this is about to become a full-scale war, and the worst part, there are already whispers that Mendeecees is planning his own form of retaliation. If Kirk thought he could pull a fast one and walk away as if nothing had happened, he might want to rethink that. Because if Mendeecees finds proof, oh baby, it's over. The streets are tense, and things are about to turn ugly. Will Mendeecees come out swinging? Will Kirk finally break his silence? Or is this just the beginning of something even bigger? One thing is certain, this is far from over. Let's get one thing straight. Mendeecees is not the type to take an attack like this lightly. If Kirk thought he could just move on, he seriously miscalculated. The tension is thick, the stakes are high, and everyone is watching to see what happens next. If you thought this was messy, just wait. It's about to get even wilder. And if the rumors are true, Kirk may have just made the biggest mistake of his life. Mendeecees walked away from the wreck, but trust me, he didn't forget who was behind it. And if Kirk thought he could just shake this off, he clearly forgot who he was dealing with. Because let me tell you, Mendeecees is already making serious moves. Not just with his usual crew, we're talking high-power connections. He's reportedly been in touch with legal experts, industry insiders, and even some figures with less than clean reputations. If Mendeecees really believes that Kirk tried to take him out, you can bet he's not letting this go. This is where things get even messier. While Mendeecees is strategizing, Kirk is out here scrambling to control the damage. He was silent at first, but now that people are putting the pieces together, he's suddenly trying to act normal, like it's all just a coincidence. But the receipts say otherwise. Just as people were starting to doubt him, some leaked messages hit the internet. Screenshots allegedly show Kirk talking about Mendeecees just days before the accident. He reportedly said, "That dude thinks he's untouchable. He got too comfortable." And another message, "Bet money he won't see this coming." If these texts are real, they paint a very dark picture. This doesn't look like just another beef. This looks like a planned hit. And let's not forget, Kirk has a history of sneaky behavior. He's been caught throwing stones and hiding his hands before. But this is too calculated to be brushed off as mere talk. And now Mendeecees' team is on full alert. They're looking into phone records, surveillance footage, and any other evidence that can reveal who else was involved. Because let's be real, this doesn't seem like a one-man operation. Rumors are swirling that Kirk wasn't working alone, and the names being whispered, absolutely shocking. Some sources claim Kirk had outside help, maybe even from people within Mendeecees' own circle. Imagine thinking you're surrounded by friends, only to find out someone close to you set you up. That's next-level betrayal. And let's not ignore the money factor. If Kirk really wanted this to go down, you can bet he paid off a few people to make sure things went according to plan. But something went wrong, because instead of being taken out, Mendeecees survived. And now, Kirk has a major problem. And here's the kicker. Someone in on this plot might be ready to flip. The word on the street is that one of Kirk's allies is feeling the heat and may start talking to save themselves. And if that happens, Kirk is finished, because once one piece of the puzzle falls, the whole house of cards crumbles. And trust me, Kirk knows it. That's why he's been acting nervous, moving differently, watching his back. He knows he messed up big time. And speaking of the truth, let's talk about what Mendeecees plans to do next. Because believe me, he's not waiting around. Some sources say he's already in touch with law enforcement, pushing for a full-fledged legal investigation. If there's solid evidence linking Kirk to this, it's game over. But wait, there's another rumor making rounds. Some people claim Mendeecees might not even be considering the legal route. Instead, they say he's looking to handle this in the streets. And if that's the case, Kirk better be shaking in his boots. Because whether it's through the law or the streets, Mendeecees is coming for him. And let's not act like Kirk doesn't know he messed up. Just a few weeks ago, he was out here talking big, moving recklessly. But now he's silent, watching his every move, avoiding certain people, certain places, because deep down, he knows this isn't over. And trust me, when Mendeecees starts looking for answers, it never ends well for the guilty. So now we're at a crossroads. On one side, Kirk is desperately trying to cover his tracks, but on the other, Mendeecees is on his neck. The truth is coming out, and when it does, it's over. The real question is, what will happen when these two finally meet in person? Because believe me when I say that moment is approaching, and it's going to be explosive. On one side, we have Mendeecees, who is preparing for whatever comes next. He's making moves behind the scenes, talking to the right people, and ensuring that when the truth comes out, there's no way to spin it. And on the other side, we have Kirk, who has been dodging questions, avoiding the heat, and hoping this all just blows over. Spoiler alert, it won't. This story is far from over, and if you thought things were messy now, baby, you have no idea what's coming next. Right now, Mendeecees wants the truth. The streets are already buzzing, and everyone knows that this isn't over. Kirk can hide all he wants, but eventually, the truth will come out. And let's face it, Kirk isn't built for this kind of pressure. He thought he could play dirty and get away with it. He didn't realize who he was playing with. Now he's realizing that Mendeecees isn't just sitting back, he's out for blood. If you thought the leaked messages were bad, wait until you hear the latest developments. An unnamed source just dropped a bombshell. There's actual video footage that could blow this case wide open. Real footage. According to reports, security cameras from a gas station caught something shocking just minutes before the accident. A black SUV was seen following Mendeecees' car. And guess what? People are saying that the SUV looks exactly like the one Kirk has been seen driving before. If this footage is real, it's over for Kirk. Because let's be honest, what are the odds that Kirk's car just happened to be creeping behind Mendeecees right before he was run off the road? That's not a coincidence. That's a setup. But it gets even crazier. Sources close to Mendeecees claim he already has the video and is deciding how to drop it. But he's not just going to leak it randomly. No, he's playing chess. Because let's not forget, Kirk still has powerful connections who might try to bury this evidence before it ruins him. Mendeecees is making sure that doesn't happen. Rumors are swirling that Mendeecees has sent copies of the footage to key players in the industry. That means journalists, influencers, and even legal authorities are already looking at the evidence. When this footage goes public, there will be no turning back. But here's where it gets even worse for Kirk. Some people are whispering about something even bigger that could completely destroy him. Because if these reports are true, Kirk isn't just looking at street-level revenge. He might be facing serious legal charges. Sources claim that Mendeecees' legal team is already preparing to take action, and if Kirk is officially linked to this attempted murder, we're talking serious jail time. And let me tell you something, Kirk won't survive in that kind of environment. But here's the real kicker. Mendeecees isn't just after Kirk. He wants to know who else was involved, because let's not forget, there have been whispers that Kirk didn't act alone, and Mendeecees knows it. Word on the street is that someone close to Kirk might be about to turn on him, and once one person starts talking, the whole operation collapses. If Kirk thought he had loyal people around him, he better think again, because when it comes down to saving their own skin, trust me, loyalty goes out the window. So what happens when Mendeecees and Kirk finally meet? Because let's be clear, that moment is coming. Kirk may be running, but he can't hide forever. When these two finally come face to face, it's going to be war. And let's not sugarcoat it. Someone's career, reputation, and even freedom are on the line. This isn't just about revenge anymore. This is about clearing a name, exposing a snake, and making sure the world knows the truth. But the biggest question is, will the leaked footage finally expose Kirk for good? Or is there another twist coming that no one saw coming? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. So what do you think? Did Kirk really set this up? Or is Mendeecees just seeing what he wants to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want the next update before anyone else, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next.